If you ride a bike, it's highly unlikely you have not heard about waxing your chain. Thought it was potentially like a lot of work for not a lot of benefit. But through 2025, I've seen more and more friends spending time waxing their chains using all sorts of different products and all sorts of different systems. So I finally caved. And I waxed my chain for the first time probably about 8 weeks ago. And since then, I've covered over 2,000 kilometers, and it's time now, today, to degrease, re-wax, but also give some of my thoughts on whether it's worth it or not. It can be expensive. This chain is now something like 1,000k old, and the chain on the Y1RS is also about 1,000 kilometers. First of all, I've got to take this chain off the Y1RS, but I thought it might be quite interesting to have a listen to the chain because now it's been really ridden and done a lot of kilometers. It doesn't sound quite as smooth if we take a listen to it now and then when we've got the new chain on as well. So I'm just going to use this DJI mic above the cassette. Doesn't actually sound too bad, to be honest. The great thing about waxing is that it coats the cassette cogs, and although they have got quite a bit of wax on them, they don't look too dirty, so I might just give them a little bit of a wipe. If you really want the best result, then yes, you want to take it off. But I just think for how much degreaser that means I'm going to use and how many chains I've got to do, I think I'm just going to leave them on for this. You can see it needs new wax because you can see there's quite a lot of wiggle in it, which means the wax has come out from those rollers. But it's still very clean. It's a little bit waxy, but it's not sticky. No dirt on it. You see in there? So that is like rock solid. So I've got a litre of water in this pan, just on a little portable hob, and I've got it set to a medium heat, and I'm just gonna pop that wax in there to allow it to start to just heat up and melt. If you put too much water in, this will float. So I've just had to take a little bit out because it was starting to float and you don't want that. So it looks like it's got enough in and it's not floating. So I'm gonna let that heat up. That's gonna take about 40 minutes while we crack on with the degreasing process. So what we need to do is get all of our chains fully degreased. I've got two that I've waxed before. These are from the road bike. I have a SRAM chain, which I've used UFO drip on, which is their Ceramicspeed sort of like a water-based drip on wax, which is not a full wax treatment, but that's had that before. So these three can go in together. I do recommend doing multiple chains at once because this process is quite long and drawn out. So you get more out of it if you were to wax multiple chains. This is a brand new chain, come from the factory in its Shimano grease, whatever it is that they put on it. This stuff is absolutely horrible, and ironically, although this is a brand new chain, this is actually worse and harder to clean in the ultrasonic cleaner than a fully used waxed one. So I'm not gonna put this in with these three. I'm gonna put these three in first, and then I'm gonna do this by itself. So I'm gonna use a ultrasonic cleaner to degrease these chains. You don't need to get one of these. The benefit of this is that you can preheat and the ultrasonic waves clean they really penetrate and blast out the muck, the wax from the links in the chain a lot better. It is a bit like a chip fryer, to be fair. So we're going to use the degreaser, the UFO degreaser. This is 5 litres. Again, you don't need this much. In that goes. Oh, don't glug it too much, Luke. You can just leave that degreaser in there and then reuse it multiple times. Usually when you get back from a ride, if you were to sort of like, let's say if you were to use like a wet lube or something like that, a lot of the dirt that is not going on your chain is getting stuck in the wet lube because it's very tacky. With wax, it's not even sticky, so nothing even really sticks to it or anything. It just is preserved. Now, yes, of course, it doesn't last forever, but the feeling is much nicer. Purely from the perspective of having to not clean your bike all the time, I really rate it. This is a chain that I've just been riding and riding and riding. And this is a little bit dark. I don't know if you can sort of see that on here. This is still just wax. There's no dirt in there. When you look at it compared to this one, I rode the tracker on this one, and this is with the Ceramicspeed UFO drip. It's very similar, but there is dirt inside the drip wax. Whereas with this, it is literally just wax. Yeah, there's no dirt in there. That's actually kind of mad. I'm gonna just quickly see what Dennis from Ceramicspeed says about degreasing.
Hi, this is Dennis from Ceramicspeed. In this video, I'm going to talk about preparation of your chain.
15 minutes. Okay, wow. Okay, so our ultrasonic cleaner is now at 60 degrees. You want the chains to be covered, totally covered. So one in there like that. Just a quick side note, it's kind of useful to have some little rags because stuff does go everywhere. It's going to go inside the ultrasonic cleaner for 15 minutes at 60 degrees. So place it inside. Everything's nice and covered, quite easily covered actually. So we go like this. Makes a bit of a weird noise. We're going to leave that for 15 minutes and then we'll take it out and see how it's done. We've been in for nearly 5 minutes. And you remember what the colour was like before. We're definitely getting a lot of the wax off of here. Okay, so 15 minutes is done. Gonna have a look at what we've created. So this is the gravel chain. Still come out really, really clean, but you can see in certain parts it rubs, but I want to give that just a couple more minutes. I mean, it still looks pretty incredible considering. Whereas when you look, oh, this is coming off of my hands. Wear gloves, folks. Whereas this chain looks basically brand spanking new. And what you want is to feel those links move. This is what you're looking for. It's not quite perfect, but it's very, very close. So I'm just gonna put that back in there. 5 minutes. Oh, wow, yeah, okay. These chains are clean, but they're still covered in degreaser. So that's why we have this lovely pound tub. This is just gonna act as a bath and a rinse. You keep doing it until the chain doesn't make the water go cloudy anymore. So we need to do it a couple more times and then we can dry it off and we can wax. Welcome back to Luke's Kitchen. On today's episode, we are using wax. So we just need to dry our chains. We want to make sure that they're completely dry when we apply the wax. We don't want to trap any water inside the links especially. So I'm going to use one of these little things. One dry chain. Yeah, there's no moisture in that at all. Awesome. Now you got your chain degreased, rinsed and dry. It is ready, finally, to be waxed. We want to make sure that the wax is fully up to temperature. When you take anything out in the drip, nothing dries and gloops here. So as you can see, everything on this is still completely clear and wet and hot. This is what comes with the Ceramicspeed waxing system. So I've already put this inside the container because I wanted to get the dry wax that was from the previous session off of it. That's why I'm not touching it at the bottom there. But basically, this can slide up a little bit here, get everything on the hanger, close it up, and then push it down. And that is now put on properly so that you can drop this into here. And you're going to drop this into the wax. Depending on which wax you've got, they'll have instructions. But this is about 5 minutes, and that will have completely penetrated all the links and all the joints, and we'll have one wax chain. Now the only thing left to do is obviously let this dry a little bit and then put it on the bike. A lot of videos online show that you should leave this overnight and like hang it up. Obviously there's different ways you can do this. This has got its own proprietary hanger, which is great, or you can literally use like a coat hanger and hang it. And people say leave it overnight and then break the links in the morning. I got a little tip from Dennis at Ceramicspeed, my guy that you saw on YouTube earlier on. The chain itself is still warm. We're going to put it in the bike, we're going to go up and down the cogs on the gears, break the chain in basically, and then let that set once everything's moved freely, and more of the wax will remain in the chain rollers and pins, because you're not then just snapping and breaking and then it's all being lost. Similar to putting on a UFO chain, if you've ever put one of those on before. They don't sit in the links very well because we've got a lot of wax in between the links. Put this in top gear. So we're going to pop our links in, and we're going to find that the wax does pop quite satisfyingly out nicely in the pins. Line that up, chain link on, and now for the magic touch. So now, this is the best point now to break this chain in, up and down. And I did say earlier that we were going to do a test comparison, so this is the sound of it now. So I'm going to run it up all the gears, up and down. There you go. One fresh wax chain. I've got a couple more that I need to do, so I'm going to end this video here. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you found it informative. If there's any questions, just drop me something down in the comments below and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. If you have enjoyed watching, please smash that like button. It does mean a lot. It helps the channel grow. And please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos about bikes. Until the next one, take care of yourself. See you soon.